What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? It's your boy Ken turn YouTube shit. Hey man, say man, we are lit. Turn to motherfucking day. Chilling outside, big crib in the gang, chilling outside shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo, Russia, do your thing, and Texas, stand the fuck up. Each day is going to be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring you down, always fight back. Never let somebody tell you who you are, but also never put yourself in a position of alone. Let's say, I'm going to the revolution on this movement. Keep Yahweh first. Come to the Black Hebrew Israelite. As a real Jew, we got you. Alright. Boom. Take to motherfucking day. Chilling outside, big crib in the gang, chilling outside shit, man. Turn up. And the gang go. Bruh. So this is funny as hell. Dame Dash goes on Breakfast Club with Charlemagne. You know what I'm saying? And this was going on, bro. You know, Dame Dash called that nigga out. You know what I'm saying? You know, Charlemagne, man. I watched a little bit of his show, but I don't really watch it like that. I like it when the rappers come on, they talk that little shit. But you know what I'm saying? You know how it goes, man. You know what I'm saying? I watch the show a lot. Dame Dash, you know, gave him a piece of his mind. You know what I'm saying? Just bottom line. That's what hear how he felt. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like that nigga feminine, he might be zesty. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Crip. Also, bunch more rappers. You know what I'm saying? This is about the past beat they done had. Crazy shit. You know, when they jumped on his boy, shit getting crazy. So, you know, we just watched the beef. So, hey, let's get into it, man.
Your OG is Wendy Williams.
Wendy Williams is your OG.
Wasn't she your boss?
Yeah, at one point.
So
yeah.
she was your OG. She put you on, and you should give her grace. And you should also give her props out of respect. I would never. This is uninspiring. This is dirty and all that shit. You're a girl. You clean this shit up. Look at your sneakers.
Your sneakers are dirty. Your sneakers filthy. That ain't like you, Dane.
I just took you. See how you lying?
That's just as crispy.
This is money and material things. That's why.
Yo, Charlemagne, that's Dame was first. Them Air Force was crisp. Them shits is a white. Them shits was cold. Ain't white.
Why I'm suing the Breakfast Club, but I also sent the demand letter to pause the Chris Brown lawyer and everyone that was in that whole circle and scene. The thing is, we on the radio, so if you say I got dirty sneakers playing tonight and they can't see it, then they're gonna think I got on dirty sneakers. And it's gonna get into the algorithm. Dame has on dirty sneakers. I don't wanna hear that when I got on new sneakers. The people that have been with me, and I think it's been illegal the way they've been with me, I'm not going to take it to the street because I'm not in the street. I look at what the President Donald Trump does. He sues people. What I didn't like is that they were lying. I didn't like that no matter what they saw, they were saying the opposite and putting a negative slant on it and not celebrating it. And what I really didn't like is the way they had interviewed Ben Shapiro, someone that triggers our culture constantly. They gave him the utmost respect. They let him talk. I mean, it was...
You're right. Teach.
Come back. You gotta come back.
This is an interview. You keep interrupting me.
Okay, I have a question.
I bet my house is bigger than yours. I bet all my houses are bigger than you. I bet I have a better...
How old are you,
Stop.
man?
I didn't finish my thought.
Go ahead.
If you don't know, listen. Listen to the teacher. I'm teaching you right now. Because
how would you buy a revolt?
Why wouldn't you say congratulations?
We did say congratulations.
Oh, you don't seem excited.
Dope. Congratulations.
You've been doing this every day your whole life and you're not making no money?
Nope.
And
Like you, Dan.
No, you're not like me. You give me $20. Okay, can you do that? I'm now the chairman of Revolt. Right?
You don't deserve to be the chairman of Revolt.
I got you. So I'm now the chairman of Revolt with a pathway.
again,
You see, because he wants to trigger me, and I want you to acknowledge that.
They said that the net worth was about 30 to 50 million.
This thing. You guys believe the internet. You guys are adults that believe what you read and hear in the newspaper, and y'all talk the most shit. So you guys are talking about things with no research. That's not fair. Do you think it's respectful when someone gives you their boundaries, you just break them and keep laughing? You think that's all right? I'm just asking.
Can I speak? I don't want to.
I just need an answer. This the only time you don't speak is when I ask you questions. Anyway. Let me ask you a question, Dan. You ever ran from a fight? No. What would happen if y'all heard that I ran from a fight? That's a masculine way of doing things. Now, you don't see it that way. You like to play games. Like, I'm not quite, because when you say kids, I was like, and it ain't no disrespect, but I kind of think you're gay. You just act a little gay.
You got a problem with gay people?
Not at all. I've got a problem with people that pretend they're not gay. So let me tell you why.
But what if?
Hey man, shout out to Poetic Flocko, man. The only real one that is left that we feel they got a chance to keep on going. We got Dame Dash goes at Charlemagne, man.
The Breakfast Club
This
earlier
is crazy.
today, and the entire interview was a huge car crash, man. Dame Dash went off on Charlemagne the God, threatened to beat him up.
Yeah.
It was very clear from the first second of this interview, Dame Dash came in with an agenda. And the agenda of this interview was to get revenge on the Breakfast Club for all the smack they've been talking about him over the last year or so.
I don't think you're a proper representation of the masculine black man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think you guys are.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Like, your OG is Wendy Williams.
Before we even continue, we kind of have to pause real quick and take a step back and discuss how do we get here? How do we get to where Dame Dash is on the Breakfast Club calling Charlemagne the God's and DJ Envy's masculinity as men in question?
I mean,
he even told Charlemagne your OG is Wendy Williams. That's to say that Charlemagne the God gossips for a living and gossips like a girl. He called Charlemagne the God a girl multiple times during this interview. Now, they've gotten to this point because Dame Dash was very upset about the commentary they've been given about Dame Dash over the last couple weeks, maybe the last year. More specifically, when they was discussing 50 Cent owning the rights to Paid in Full that was once owned by Dame Dash, they took the opportunity to take a dig at Dame Dash finances, even referencing the interview they did with Dame Dash 10 years ago, where Dame Dash is telling them to be a boss and not employees. They used that opportunity to say, aha, Dame Dash sunned us 10 years ago, but look what happened 10 years later. We up in Dame Dash's pole.
Figure out, how did he lose? How did he own it? How did he lose the rights to Paid in Full, or did he even own the rights to Paid in Full? Because I just want to know the business. Like, Dame is always teaching the business. He's always teaching about ownership and being a boss. So I just want to know, how did 50 end up getting the rights? Because I thought Dame had the rights. I would assume. I don't know.
But are we still talking about this boss conversation? Like, is that a conversation that we're still having? That's the first thing you said. 50 Cent is his boss, and 50 said that's his partner on it. He's EPing with him, so I guess they're partners. But I hate this boss conversation because I hate the fact that people be like, I don't need no boss. I don't want no boss. Well, sometimes not having a boss will lead you into foreclosure and only having assets to lead up to $2,400.
Damn.
You can't keep having this boss conversation without having a real conversation about entrepreneurship and what you need to do as an entrepreneur. We can't keep having these conversations.
Dan posted that old clip of him getting at you on Breakfast Club.
I ain't see that in a long time.
It's a little hot this morning, huh?
Nah, that clip is amazing. That clip is amazing. If you see what happens within 10 years and then you look at that clip, you be like,
oh man,
somebody else made a bad decision.
Damn.
Well, I will.
What Dame Dash said to DJ
That's
Envy 10 years
fucked
ago
up.
is obviously still lingering. DJ Envy still feels away, which is why DJ Envy is kicking Dame Dash back in. Now, the interaction, if you guys don't remember, Dame Dash told DJ Envy that he was a slave. And that he was a slave because he works at the radio station and he can't leave the radio station to his son. Even though DJ Envy, passionate, by the way, because Envy was screaming at the top of his lungs, was trying to explain to Dame Dash that because of the radio station, he now makes a lot of money.
That's true.
And his son don't ever have to work a day in his life if he don't want to. Dame Dash dismissed Envy and said, that's not enough. You still an employee, so you a slave. And that made Envy.
I mean, you don't have no foundation.
You have to understand what you're doing in business because you got to do what's best for your kids.
If something happens to that money on it, they
put
can't
your money
replace
into
it
something.
with the business that they use.
The stress, go through all of it, So when your child becomes a man, he doesn't have to work for nobody. Right, well, that's the whole thing. You can just pass it to him. Now, you talk about... So if you're going to work 20 years in a business or 15 years in a business every day over and over again, and your son can't work here whenever he feel like it, you clowning him. I don't want him to work. But that's me. I'm not saying you. If you owned it, wait a second. I'm here because time out. I don't need a check. That's stupid. You should be time out. Because he enjoy it, not because he want a check.
You're wrong.
I'm here because
I like the check.
Wait, time out. Time out. You're lying. I don't need before you lose your control. Just stay focused. Like you say, do your homework. So listen to me. I work here because I enjoy it. Why don't you listen? I work here for free. Who could work? Would you ever enjoy being a slave? I'm not. It's not a slave. This is what I enjoy.
That conversation between Dame Dash and Envy was important. It was one of the most important conversations I think the black community has ever seen in the last 10 years. Now, the conversation was great.
Because you work because they give you a lot of money on, or do you work to own it?
Boss culture, promoting ownership. But where I feel like that conversation had somewhat of a negative impact on our culture is because boss culture has gotten out of control. People now feel like boss culture is the only way out. And if you decide to be an employee, you are less than. People even use employee as an insult now. Like, for example, I'm somebody who works for No Jumper, but I also have my own media company. I get called an employee as an insult when I don't see nothing wrong with working for a larger company while still having your own company, and it doesn't really interfere with what you got going on. Same as DJ Envy. He works at the radio station, but he's been able to utilize that to start other companies, and now he's a boss in his own right with those other companies, but he's an employee at the radio station. But that gets looked down upon. So I do believe Dame Dash did help carve the boss culture we currently see within ourselves. However, he did somewhat help because preaching ownership would never be a negative. Now, when Dame Dash came to the Breakfast Club this week, though, Dame Dash came with an attempt to discredit them, with an attempt to let the culture know, hey, these aren't the people y'all should be listening to. They're not credible. But do I believe that Dame Dash accomplished his mission? I don't. I think Dame Dash fell short because the angles that Dame Dash took or used to try to discredit him ain't really hit like that. Like, it was hilarious. The conversation was funny, but it ain't really hit or resonate. Like,
because a lot of kids don't even know what the fuck you talking about on this
or
shit.
a girl. I don't think anybody looks at Charlemagne the God and thinks, yeah, he is the example of masculinity.
No,
Charlemagne the God is somebody who, like, he's funny. You know, he's a straight shooter, and for the most part, he's been a staple in the culture for a while now, so he's grandfathered in. We don't look at Charlemagne the God as, I don't know, Andrew Tate or somebody, right? So trying to attack his masculinity doesn't really hit the same because Charlemagne the God, like, isn't successful because he presents himself as an uber masculine guy.
We're different. Like, I'm not the kind of guy that would, like, I'd rather get my ass whipped than run. But you're proud that you ran.
Yeah.
I'd rather get my ass whipped. And it ain't no disrespect, but I kind of think you're gay.
Yeah.
You just act a little gay.
You got a problem with gay people?
Not at all. I've got a problem with people that pretend they're not gay.
Yeah.
So let me tell you why.
But what if
Let me tell you why. This is hilarious. I love
what you're doing. This is hilarious.
So what I'm saying is, you might, because you started in gossip.
I think a little bit zesty.
It's very feminine, and you want people to listen to you, and that we want people that represent masculinity because men need to be doing what they need to do as men. They don't need to be worried about girl stuff. Do you think he's masculine? Would you want this man around you if 10 guys jumped you? He'd run. You'd have to run with him. I like my women to feel safe when they're around me. I don't tell people, like, and I'm not saying that's your way, but you're just not masculine. I've seen him run. I looked at a whole reel of, there's like a thing that says how many people bark. There's stuff that how many times you play with, talk about other people's genitals. You real masculine men don't do that. You said that some guys was throwing you kisses because they liked your paw's butt, and you went back. That's gay.
Yeah. Why do you have such a problem with gay?
I don't have a problem. I have a problem with you. Wait. No. That is why I pause. There's a lot of people like you.
That's crazy.
There's a lot of people like you that are gay that pretend they're not.
Black men can't be gay.
I understand where he was heading to. It kind of fell flat because Charlemagne the God and Andrew Schultz been sex playing each other on Brilliant Idiots for a decade.
I didn't care. I didn't give a fuck if they gay or
Nobody is
not,
looking
bro.
at Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne the God and
He
thinking,
just gonna be gay. That's what
these
it
guys
is.
are the epitome of straight. I think a lot of people already question Charlemagne the God's sexuality. That does nothing. Now,
Half the
in
hoes
this
gay.
interview, Dame
So,
Dash does hit on something.
it's just type
And
of
if he would
religion.
have hit on this earlier, I feel like if he would have stuck to this, he would have had them panicking. He brought up the fact that he believes that Charlemagne the God and the Breakfast Club are on payroll by Jay-Z because it doesn't make sense why they have unwavering loyalty for Jay-Z, why they run point for Jay-Z, why every crisis Jay-Z is in, they come and play PR.
They get
Dame Dash
paid.
was on to something with this one, but he ain't give us enough of this.
Talking. Okay? So, because when I do that, when y'all do that, I forget what I'm going to say because I be like that. You're not saying shit. No, you don't think, of course you don't think that. You're,
Just like y'all know,
that's fine.
Tyler Perry.
I do. I'm not going to lie.
Tyler Perry going around
After
saying
the
his
buff
image
stuff,
gonna pay
let me say
people.
this. Let me say this. This is my assessment. I've never heard you say one thing bad about Jay-Z, not one.
He's not in the room. You shouldn't talk about it.
Don't tell me what to do.
You said you shouldn't
Damn,
talk about
they
it. Now
did
you-
boyfriend
you're
and
interrupting
shit.
me. Now you're doing the girl stuff.
I know
You don't
him.
want people
I'm
to
giving
do
you
it.
an example, right?
You used to know him.
Can I talk? You're upset. Can I talk?
I'm upset.
Can I talk?
Zesty.
I've never seen you say one word, because you talk bad about a lot of people, but you never said one time. And you walk around with his face on your chest. Is that a airplane shirt right now?
Paper planes, yeah. I won't see your stuff.
Can I finish? No, I never seen it. Let me finish.
What you mean? You gave us
Can I
your
talk?
stuff.
Can I land the plane? Let me land the plane.
I can't wait.
Let me land the
I wanna see
plane.
your
So I'm
stuff.
thinking to myself, either you got a crush on this man or he's paying you. One or the other. Did you buy that shirt?
Yes.
You went and bought that? They didn't give it to you as much as you say nice
You're not
things?
supposed to support black business?
I doubt you bought that shirt.
What you mean?
Anyway,
and I buy
so I think you're gay. I'm sorry.
And I think you're broke.
Okay.
That's the route you would take if you wanted to really discredit them. But talking about DJ Envy's racketeering case or Charlemagne the God not being all the way straight does nothing, doesn't take away not one ounce of credibility from them. But you start getting into the Rock Nation payola and how Rock Nation may be funneling money to Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club and why they can't criticize Jay-Z or Desiree Perez or nobody around Rock Nation. You start getting into that bag, Dame, you would have cooked. But you kind of like shot away from it almost instantly. Now, Charlemagne and Dame got like really heated throughout this entire interview. Now, I'm shocked they didn't start throwing blows.
Those who answer the call.
Blows.
Black men that are gay should say they're gay.
Well, I'm not gay.
You are.
God damn.
Anyway, now let me talk to you. Let me ask you.
You're broke.
Let me say this. You acting like a girl.
You move like an old auntie. You an old Harlem auntie.
I could punch you right in your face like a grown man. I won't.
And then we
And you won't do shit.
Dame, this is with
That's
Jack
not
Patty. So just so
not
you know,
your
because I knew you was gonna say
Nah,
that.
I've seen you run.
Yes.
I seen you. I'm not saying I will. I'm saying no. Then your version of respectful is different than mine. We were on the street right now and you were talking like that. I would have f***ed you up. But I'm not gonna do that. Nah, I wouldn't have got beat up. I wouldn't have got beat up. Let's end this. So let me say one more thing before I leave.
I have so many questions.
All right. Oh, you're right.
How you want to leave? You can't get in your emotions and want to leave, Dame.
No, what I'm saying is when you interrupt me and you say certain things, where I'm from, the masculine man will f you up.
Yeah.
But because let me finish. No, I didn't. I said
not gonna happen.
I didn't say that. I said I could, and you wouldn't do anything.
And we gonna fight.
I didn't see that on tape. You ran.
Yeah, because it was 4 guys, but that's cool.
Wait. What happened?
Nah, we would have been
when
squaring
30
up
guys
before. I don't give a fuck,
told me?
nigga.
I
At
got
the end of
that
the day, you got
with
to,
respect, but I f***ed them up.
I think it's been some head trauma ever since.
Yeah. Hey, yo, pause.
Okay.
That's what Dame wanted,
I know.
He wanted to come in here and call this.
He said boundaries. He said some chatty patty stuff that's absolutely not
So let's address it. Let's unpack it. Let's unpack it. Let's pause. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
So a lot of the things you say on here are not true. A lot. And I'm saying what
I'm taking Dame Dash in a fight over Charlemagne
That's
10
a
out of
fact.
10 times. I would say that I do agree Charlemagne the God would fight back. Like, I don't feel like Charlemagne the
I
God
don't know. He
would
might.
sit there and let Dame Dash punch him and then run away.
Gay niggas don't have to
Charlemagne
fight.
the God would fight back. But
I don't
Dame
know.
Dash, like, is literally like a like a step away from like a Golden Glove at some point. Like Dame Dash has like been boxing for 20, 30 years. I don't feel like Charlemagne the God is keeping up with Dame Dash even in his elder age right now. But here's where the interview gets funny, and here's where Dame Dash made a really big mistake. So during the interview, I guess Dame Dash was trying to prove to him that he wasn't bankrupt, that he wasn't broke. Dame Dash made a mistake during the interview by telling him that apparently he was going to be the chairman of Revolt, that the announcement was coming shortly and coming soon. Here's the thing about saying something like this about a company with employees, okay? It's a really big deal. The change of a chairman is a really big deal for a company like Revolt. So when you say something like this, A, it has to be true. Two, if it's not true, it has some steep consequences.
We'll think that.
And I didn't mind you interrupting me to do that.
I apologize, but I wanted to clear things up.
I appreciate that. So every time I was launching something with my family office, he sent a letter saying that, you know, I'd owe the money, but it was my family office, but it muddies the waters. So if you have a contract, especially working here, and somebody sent a bum letter, as soon as it's a lawyer, it shuts down. It muddies the waters. I was about to make some major announcements. You want to hear one?
Sure.
I'm now the chairman of Revolt right now, and I also I have 15.
You don't deserve to be the chairman.
I got you. So I'm now the chairman of Revolt with a pathway. You see, because he wants to trigger me, and I want you to acknowledge that. So I'm now Cam's boss, the chairman of Revolt with a pathway to acquisition. I've been trying to buy Revolt.
How do we know this is not Cam? Can you see this on deadline?
Can you stop interrupting me, please? So Deadline didn't make the announcement for this particular situation. They didn't want to. I had an announcement I was going to make with BT, but Paramount stepped in and they said do it later. And they didn't want to be a part of this mess. But it will be in something. This gets played tomorrow, so the announcement will be in the trades tomorrow. So I've been trying to buy Revolt, and I also just did a 25-episode deal for my podcast for Bosses Take Losses, and I'm putting all my content on Revolt.
I don't know why Dame Dash said this, because taking everything in consideration, what's out there, what Dame Dash just said was a lie. Like, it was cap. It was not true. I think this was his attempt to get back at Cameron, where Cameron and 50 Cent linked up to do the Paid in Full documentary when Dame Dash, I guess at some point, had exclusive rights to Paid in Full. So Dame Dash goes on the Breakfast Club and say, hey, I'm the chairman at Revolt, where Cameron just signed his new deal to do a solo podcast on Revolt. Now I'm Cameron's boss. But here's the thing. That would work if it was true. If it's not true, it makes you look like a maniac. Because after the interview, Dame Dash began to repost like this Revolt article where Revolt is claiming that they spoke to the CEO and the CEO confirmed that Dame Dash is the new chairman. Revolt never made an official announcement, but Dame Dash is claiming the announcement is from this article in Vibe, which to me is like a red flag, because if you was the new CEO of Revolt or the new chairman of Revolt, Revolt would put out an official announcement, but they didn't, right? The Vibe article is claiming they spoke to a CEO at Revolt, which to me is sketchy to say the least. So people began to investigate.
So they don't know.
Lauren LaRosa then made a tweet, and she claimed she spoke to a publicist, the lead publicist at Revolt, and they said to her that Dame Dash was not the chairman.
Damn.
So you know what Dame Dash did? Dame Dash then I went ahead and reposted Lauren and her reporting, and Dame Dash says, Cap, here goes the BS. Stop lying. Please say their names. Why would Lauren LaRosa need to lie about speaking to a source at Revolt who told her that you're not the CEO, buddy? And he even blamed like Charlemagne the God for Lauren LaRosa's reporting, because he would say, Charlemagne, I would advise you not to make up phony sources without real names, saying that anything I said was not true or we will have a legal problem. Don't try to compromise my reputation. I have proof to support everything I say that will stand up in any court. So now he's threatening to sue Charlemagne the God for defamation. But here's where everything falls apart for Dame Dash. Shade Room obtained an email that Revolt sent to employees earlier this morning after Dame Dash interview aired. And in this interview, from the CEO of Revolt to employees, they confirmed that Dame Dash is capping. So the email from the actual CEO, he says, I know some of you might have caught Dame Dash interview on the Breakfast Club today. To set the record straight, Dame Dash is a hip-hop pioneer with a proven track record as a creator. Yes, we've been in conversation about potential partnerships, things like licensing his shows and films for Revolt, but there is no signed deal. He is not the chairman of our company. There is no acquisition path on the table. The quote from me and Vibe is completely fabricated. I never said any of that.
Oh, so they
talking
about it.
That major were happening, you hear from it directly. Okay, now here's what's the truth, and they list what they got coming up. So Dame Dash is telling people that there's this path for acquisition. He's gonna own Revolt, and he's only going to license his shows to Revolt if ownership is on the table because he's not an employee. Come to find out, that's all cap. I don't know where Dame is gonna go from this, because this right here to me is really embarrassing, and his reputation will really take a hit. Because to just make this up out the blue is like kind of crazy.
I mean,
right?
I don't think he's making up that they were talking about it. You know,
weird.
I guess he just wants to make, like, you know how you drop it before it even done, so they can, hey, are you gonna do it? Are you not gonna do it? It is what it is.
It makes me feel maybe Dame Dash don't got it all up here. Maybe Dame Dash is going through. But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think? Do y'all believe, man, that Dame Dash is telling the truth and everybody is lying? Let me know in the comment section. And what was y'all take?
If they had conversations with him,
let me know in the comment section.
They must have been talking about something.
And if you're still watching, click on this video here somewhere on my screen. Here, or here on my screen to find out about this huge Jim Jones drama. Okay, why people is.
Shout out to the bando. We got times rappers check Charlemagne for being disrespectful.
What you want me to do? You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. That's what I'm saying. You can't do nothing, big man.
I knew a few places you was at. I could have pulled up, but I don't think that was gangster. I wanted to come look you in your face like a man and tell you how I feel.
Okay.
Where the breakfast at? Where the breakfast at?
Damn.
Like, for real, bro, y'all tripping.
From the time Birdman pulled up to the Breakfast Club just to cuss Charlemagne out before leaving, to the time NBA Youngboy threatened to hit Charlemagne with a strap, these are times rappers check Charlemagne the God for being disrespectful. Started things off with Beanie Siegel, because when he was on the Breakfast Club back in 2016, it didn't take 30 seconds from the start of the episode for things to get awkward between him and Charlemagne. Charlemagne the God set the stage for a heated interview by calling Siegel a hater for putting out a Meek Mill diss track, just a week after Meek and Siegel were seen in the booth together. Siegel, on the other hand, felt Charlemagne didn't have the right to speak on the matter without first knowing the facts.
Sounding like a hater lately, man.
Hater?
Yeah.
How you say that? Hater?
Because I feel like, you know, you put out 2 diss records, but then you was in the studio with me like 8 days prior to the first diss record. And I'm like, if anybody else did that, I think you'd be saying that was a sucker move.
I don't think you qualified to even say I sound like a hater because you don't know all the particulars. So how you qualified to say I'm a hater? Hate on what?
Well,
and why?
Siegel goes into a bit more detail about what actually transpired between him and Meek Mill, but he also wasn't trying to say too much on it. As a result, Charlemagne pressed Siegel again, saying Siegel is only loyal to someone when he has something to gain, since Meek had just recently featured Siegel on a song, but Siegel didn't appreciate being called a backstabber.
You know, you say I'm not qualified to speak on it. I'm just observing it, but it just seemed like, you know, loyalty with you lies with who's providing you opportunity at the time.
Man, get the out of here, Charlemagne, man. Provide me what loyalty? With who? He ain't provide me no opportunity. He ain't called me and asked me to do that. I did that. I walked into Meek wasn't even there. It was just O'Malley in the studio.
Oh, so how? Meek called you to the studio?
No.
Meek called you to the studio?
No.
Siegel explains that he wasn't even trying to get on the song with Meek, saying he just happened to come to the studio while they were recording it. But 25 minutes into the interview, Charlemagne circles back, accusing Siegel of faking being cool with Meek, despite not liking him. In response, Siegel tries to help Charlemagne understand the situation with Meek better, but things quickly start getting heated.
I know y'all keep going back to this, but it's true. You was in the studio with Meek 8 days prior.
Did we did not just answer that?
But you knew he wasn't real. You said he wasn't. You didn't think he was real when you was in the studio with him.
All right, put it like this. Is Kanye a street?
Absolutely not.
But when Kanye put that phone call in, you know the stories. Who was there? He put the call in, I was there. Strapped tooth to nail. Ready to bust ass about the. Is he a part of our family? You understand what I'm saying?
Now, for people that don't know,
You know how you don't understand? Because you know why? Because you not from that cloth.
Well, that's cool. I don't get
you not. That's why you don't understand that.
For the last 10 minutes of the interview, it became obvious Charlemagne was trying to get under Siegel's skin by saying stuff to portray him in a negative light.
You remember, because when I hear you talk about the kids' clothes, you remember you did the State Property clothing line. I remember an interview you did where you said they got the little compartments to hide your guns and hide your dope. Like, it could have, that looks crazy. And when you think,
quiet, Charlemagne, shut up.
Charlemagne then decides to bring up the beef with Meek Mill one more time, but that was the last straw for Siegel because he completely shut Charlemagne down, telling Charlemagne not to play with him since he's really about that life.
if you see, like, Meek calls you and be like, yo, Mac, what's up? Let's squash this.
Put the phone call on. Let's sit down and talk about it.
In your mind, you still think he's not real. He's a sucker.
Why you keep harping on that? We answered that. We talked about that.
You like,
so don't talk out your neck because you want what you want. If you saying you want unity, stop. Keep doing that, man. Don't stop playing.
That's confused.
Man. Don't stop running your fucking mouth. You shouldn't. It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
No doubt.
You talking about somebody who went to war with police. It's dangerous. Attempted murders in the height of my career. It's dangerous. You don't know nothing about that, man.
No.
You sit up here and your job is to play games. But play with something safe, man. Don't play with me.
Never sue the other driver after
me.
The thing Siegel earlier said about Charlemagne picking on female rappers seems to check out because in another interview with Master P, Charlemagne got checked again for disrespecting a female rapper. In a 2015 Breakfast Club interview with rapper and record producer Master P, things were going well until Charlemagne asked a question about Master P's record label, No Limit Records. Charlemagne wanted to know how the label was promoting their projects, but in the process made some out-of-pocket comments about Mercedes, one of Master P's signed artists.
There was a time when No Limit was dropping every week. There was a No Limit product installed every week. Except for Mercedes. We never saw that. No, I wanted to see that because she had a fat ass.
Yeah, see that, bro. Hold on, man. Don't talk about Mercedes.
Oh, my bad, John. I ain't know she
Hey, man. But still, though, with all my people, man, you know how I am. Yeah, but we good, man. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? You know how we get out.
Charlemagne quickly tried to change the subject to make things less awkward, but Master P wasn't going to let him off that easy, checking Charlemagne and letting him know not to disrespect women like that.
Well, how was you setting it up, though, for promotion-wise?
What you mean, set?
Because they were dropping every week, so how was people able to know, okay, unless you was going to the record store?
Let's go back to this, dog. Let's respect, because I'm not going to talk about your sister, your mama.
Gotcha.
You know, we need to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the first thing, because I know you do your radio thing, and I respect that, but at the same time, Mercedes she a female.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, you're right. But she did look good on that cover, though.
Yeah, she look good. That's your opinion.
But that wasn't the only time Charlemagne the God got checked for playing with the rapper's name, because in 2016, Birdman stormed the Breakfast Club studio with his crew just to cuss Charlemagne out before leaving immediately after. The year before the incident, Lil Wayne had a major fallout with Birdman's record label, Cash Money Records, since Wayne felt the label was holding him and his music prisoner. But when Charlemagne was asked by DJ Vlad what he thought about the situation, he went on to troll Birdman for doing Wayne like that after kissing Weezy on the mouth, and also said Birdman's record label would be nothing without Lil Wayne.
What do you think about Lil Wayne's riff with Cash Money?
Oh man, I mean that's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt because Lil Wayne has been with Baby forever. Listen, they kissed in the mouth. That's a different kind of contract. Like you can't shit on the person that you've kissed in the mouth.
Charlemagne back then
y'all got tattoos of each other, yo. Like this is different. This is like a bad breakup. Listen, I just don't understand why would you want to sign to Birdman after seeing how he did his son, the man he kissed in the mouth, the man who made Cash Money what it is. First, let's be clear, Cash Money would be dead if it wasn't for Lil Wayne.
Later that year, Rick Ross was also asked about the Cash Money Lil Wayne situation on The Breakfast Club, and he let it be known that he doesn't have a relationship with Birdman and doesn't respect what Birdman's putting Lil Wayne through.
What's your relationship with Birdman?
I don't have one with Birdman. You know what I'm saying? If you read the Source magazine, you will see that, you know, right now, and really me just seeing what Wayne going through as an artist, him being a boss, you know, me idolizing Birdman at the time, me looking up to Lil Wayne being the first artist to make so many feats, not just as an artist, but an artist coming from the South.
Sound too much like
That's something that I took personal. So for me to see the way all things are transpiring, I can't respect that, and I don't respect that.
It looked like the Breakfast Club crew were intentionally trying to get Birdman's attention because Charlemagne also got Trick Daddy to speak on Birdman, and Trick Daddy had some concerning things to say, suggesting that Birdman might be gay.
So you don't like Birdman? Y'all got a little issue?
No, I don't. I've done business with Birdman. Some are good and some is bad. I just think when you try to be a CEO and you try to be a rapper and you try to be a ladies' man and you try to be a girlfriend and you try to be a girlfriend, a Crip and a Blood.
Trying to be a girlfriend?
I don't know. That's what they said.
Oh, you know what?
I'm like DJ Khaled. I got it from the streets.
That's wild.
After months of bringing his name up on their show, the Breakfast Club finally invited Birdman himself, but Baby honored the invitation for one reason and one reason only, to come and check the whole Breakfast Club crew.
Y'all ready? Yes, sir. I want to start this shit off straight, telling all three of y'all stop playing with my name. Let's go on in. Let's go. Stop playing with my
tree.
Let's do it on camera.
Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it on in. So when my name come up, respect it. Let's go. Stop playing with my fucking name. All three of y'all, stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
When the show went on air a few seconds later, Charlemagne, who was probably feeling the awkwardness, let Birdman know that he could get everything off his chest. So Birdman went off on Charlemagne, whom he seemed to particularly have an issue with.
We got a special guest in the building. He done cursed us out.
Creamhead.
Tell him, get it off your chest, Birdman.
I wanted to talk to you and your man in your face.
Absolutely.
You understand me? I knew a few places you was at. I could have pulled up, but I thought that was gangster. I wanted to come look you in your face like a man and tell you how I feel.
Okay.
You understand me? Straight up like a man.
So what's the issue?
Ain't no issue. If it was an issue, you'll feel me. I just come to let y'all know, stop, put some respect on my name.
Charlemagne talks back to Birdman since he felt Baby should have gone after Rick Ross and Trick Daddy, not a mere radio show host. But Birdman wasn't even trying to hear that and immediately left without doing the interview.
You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
Did you pull up on Ross that way or Trick Daddy?
I'm pulling up on you, nigga.
Yeah, I'm the radio guy. Why pull up on the radio guy? Don't act tough with the radio guy.
Hey, my nigga. Y'all finished or y'all done? I ain't got no more talking. That's right.
Years later, though, Charlemagne reportedly got on a call with Birdman, and they squashed the beef. But another short-lived crazy moment on the show was when Fatboy SSE pulled up to the Breakfast Club studio and started wrecking stuff and going off on Charlemagne. Because New Jersey rapper Fatboy SSE did an interview with the Breakfast Club in August 2017. But shortly after his interview that day, he came back to the studio and started wrecking the place. His issue was that they had no actual breakfast on the show, and for some reason, he seemed to direct his anger mostly at Charlemagne.
Is she texting someone behind?
What up, y'all? It's DJ MV Angela E. Charlemagne, though.
Hey, watch out, bro. What's up?
What's up with you, bro?
Y'all trying to play me. Y'all ain't let my people up neither, bro. Where the breakfast at? Where the breakfast at?
Breakfast? You ain't got it. You ain't breakfast.
Where the breakfast at?
You don't need breakfast. Hey, you ain't gonna blow my candy. I bet you if it was a birthday cake, you'd have blew it out faster.
It may have looked like a skit, but the Breakfast Club crew reportedly had no idea Fatboy SSE was going to crash their show. Speaking of viral moments on the show, we gotta talk about Soulja Boy, because not only did things get heated between him and Charlemagne the God, but Soulja's Breakfast Club interview also became one of their most viewed episodes ever. What started their beef was an interview with the Migos back in 2021. During the interview, the Migos and the Breakfast Club crew were talking about the greatest rappers from Atlanta. When DJ Envy mentioned Soulja, Charlemagne claimed Soulja wasn't even from Atlanta.
Now let's talk about this Mount Rushmore of Atlanta, because I saw y'all talking about that. Is that an all-time list y'all feel like y'all should be on, or just all the past decade?
Not shout out to the city, but all time.
So
you ain't gonna put Soulja Boy on it?
No, man, Soulja not even from Atlanta.
Switch up this mess. Don't start that shit.
It may have seemed like it wasn't that big of a deal, but after Soulja Boy saw the interview, he crashed out on IG Live, calling out Charlemagne because even if Soulja was born in Chicago, he grew up in Atlanta and is known to rep the city.
Grew up in Chicago, Atlanta, LA.
What the fuck did you talk about? I'm not from Atlanta. Where the fuck I'm from, nigga? You not from motherfucker. Where the fuck you said you from, nigga? Don't speak on what the fuck. Bitch ass, you don't know
that
shit.
Nigga spazzed.
Stop speaking on my name, bitch. Fuck you talking about, nigga? It's gonna be this every time. You wanna see me show out? That's what the fuck you gonna get, cause ain't no nigga finna sit here telling me where I'm from, nigga.
And that wasn't the only time Big Draco had an issue with Charlemagne. They also got into an argument when Soulja was on the Breakfast Club 3 years earlier. Because while a lot of people believed Tyga had the biggest comeback in 2018, Soulja Boy believed he had the biggest comeback since he signed a record deal and did 4 new TV shows. But during the interview, Charlemagne let Soulja know that being a musical artist, a comeback needs to involve Soulja actually releasing a hit song, which he didn't do.
Y'all ignored me, bro. Y'all laughed at me, bro, and shitted on me, bro, like I was nothing. And now I'm back with a vengeance, bro.
I agree with that. You just didn't have the biggest comeback in 2018. In order to have the biggest comeback, you got to come back with a massive hit. Because you're a musical artist.
Yo, Charlemagne, Tyga had a record. This nigga right here talk about Tyga. The nigga that lost his bitch to Travis Scott.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
Holy shit.
The nigga that Travis Scott nutted in the bitch and got her pregnant.
Damn. Holy shit, Big Draco.
That...
Charlemagne did have a point, but he decided to take things further by calling Soulja out on what Charlemagne called his famous lies, including Soulja's recent claim about signing a $400 million endorsement deal.
Let's go through some of your most famous lies, right?
Lies or lies?
Lies.
Okay, lies.
Now, you announced you had a $400 million deal with the World Poker
That was
Fund.
facts, nigga. What is what?
You said it was an $80 million a year contract for 5 years for in-flight
Facts,
gaming.
nigga. Google it. I still got the contract right now. What is you talking about?
Well, the company said it turned out that it was just shares that were valued at $2.5 million.
Same thing. Well, millions is millions, my baby.
No, Soulja. Millions is not millions. You can't say 400 million and the stock is only 2.5. That's a big difference.
Millions is millions, my baby.
So that was a real deal. It just wasn't.
That was real, Charlotte.
It wasn't the initial number you said.
Yeah, but it was real though.
After getting Big Draco to admit that the $400 million deal thing was capped, Charlemagne went back to talking about Soulja's alleged comeback, saying Meek Mill had a better comeback since he beefed with Drake, who Charlemagne said was the biggest artist in the world. That's when Soulja let Charlemagne know that he made Drake what he is.
Yo, Meek Mill ain't beef with Chris Brown and was finna box with Floyd Mayweather.
He didn't beef with Drake, the biggest rapper in the world.
These niggas, yeah, Drake.
Drake?
Stop playing with me. That's what the light skinned nigga from the Generous? From Toronto. Yo, stop playing with me. Where? I'm saying like I ain't teach Drake every day, you know? Hold on, you told Drake everything he know. Y'all didn't hear Drake on his first song? Tell me what's really going on. Drizzy Drake making this thing already. What's happening? That's Soulja. Shit. That's my bar. Shit. He copied my whole flow.
That's Kiss Me Through the Phone.
He copied my whole flow. Shit, bar for bar. Don't act like I didn't make Drake. Don't do that.
Crazy.
Soulja may have been capping about some stuff, but what he said about Drake was actually facts, because in his 2010 track titled Miss Me, Drake did copy the flow from Soulja's 2007 track, What's Happening, even if it said that Soulja originally copied it from another rapper named Shawty Lo. But Charlemagne's arguments with Big Draco were nothing compared to the time a rapper lost his cool and even threatened Charlemagne whilst on the Breakfast Club. It all went down back in 2014 when 2 members of the Onyx rap group, Fredro Starr and Sticky Fingers, were on the Breakfast Club. It only took 5 minutes for Charlemagne to diss one of them off because he brought up the fact that Fredro had allegedly hooked up with singer Brandy back in the 90s. Charlemagne obviously thought it was going to be funny, but Fredro wasn't having it.
And you guys got your acting money and everything up. During that time, that was like the first kind of rapper / actors.
Fredro was getting head from Brandy.
Bro, getting head from Brandy. Stop with all that. You need to stop with all that though. See this dude right here, man. Like let that be what it's gonna be, son. Like you bringing up the past, B. Like, let's move to the future though. But what did you say? Should I say a lot of shit you said, nigga?
Yeah.
I ain't got time for that though, B.
It seemed like the interview was back on track, but Fredro clearly hadn't let the incident go, because 2 minutes later, he shot back at Charlemagne, talking about the time Charlemagne got jumped and calling him a coward for it.
When you got Charlemagne, what happened when you got punched in the eye, B?
The guy got killed later on, but it wasn't because of me.
I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
That shit was mad funny.
Carl was crazy.
That shit was funny. Your ass was running like this.
I had to get out of there. I
would have stopped the fight. Especially if I was at my radio station.
You the win.
This your radio station.
you know why?
It's your block.
You know why? Because I know it was an ambush.
You got ran off your own
I don't
block.
know what them guys had planned. So I had to get out the way.
You got ran off your own block, man. It's all good, though.
It happens. It happens to the best of them.
Sometimes.
Man. Things escalated from there, with Fredro letting Charlemagne know that he didn't, in fact, like that he brought up the brandy thing. He also felt the need to remind Charlemagne that he's a real gangster and can't be touched.
Why we got an issue, bro?
Because you brought some shit up that I ain't like, and I don't like that. Nigga. I ain't no bitch ass.
I ain't say you was, but you
don't
said
play
it.
me like that, nigga. Breakfast Club. Nigga. All right, let's get on with the interview.
I don't know what you want me to do.
You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. That's what I'm saying. You can't do nothing, big man. You can't do nothing, nigga.
I ain't here for that.
Fucking good.
I ain't here for that.
Plain of garbage, nigga. Don't play me, nigga. My name is Fredro Starr. Do your Google. Do whatever the fuck you want to do.
But apart from pissing off legendary rappers and talking smack about female rappers, it seems Charlemagne also likes to pick on up-and-coming rappers, just like in this next situation. Because about a year after Lil Yachty started blowing up, he was on The Breakfast Club to discuss his music and the come-up. But the interview would turn sour for Yachty when Charlemagne would call him the face of whack rappers.
I remember he posted a video on the internet talking about new rappers. I just felt like he was targeted straight at me.
Like I told you earlier, you are the poster child
Exactly.
for whack rappers. If they want to say somebody,
That's
they
fucked
say
up.
You got the poster child.
That's fucked up.
It happens. No. It happens every few years. It was Trinidad James.
Y'all the only one who really didn't fall off from that generation. You know, I saw the Yak and 21 Savage and
Lil Yachty
a
played
couple
it
of
cool,
more
but
than
he
niggas.
actually felt some type of way about Charlemagne's comment. To make things worse, several months later, Charlemagne hosted a podcast with Joe Budden on Revolt TV, where they made a list of 2017's top trash rappers. Joe Budden put Lil Yachty at #1, and while Charlemagne initially disagreed, he soon admitted that Yachty was indeed trash musically.
Top 5 trash artists.
#1.
Of 2017.
Yachty's #1.
Nah, man. You talking about from a musical perspective?
Yes, only
Okay,
music.
all right, okay.
No, he had a great year in business.
To be fair, Charlemagne did also say Yachty
He
wasn't
goes right
making
for
music
Drake
for
and
older
shit,
people
like,
like him
bruh,
or Joe
it
Budden.
get
Months
crazy.
later, though, Lil Yachty was on The Breakfast Club once more, and Charlemagne, even after dragging Yachty's name through the mud yet again, claimed he'd always shown Yachty love.
We've always showed you love here, though.
Not at first.
He said,
Why y'all say that? When did we not show Yachty love?
I'm not.
No, came at Yachty.
When? You and Joe Budden, I saw that video.
Told Joe you cannot hate on Little Yachty.
You said he was the face of something. And
No.
You did last time.
Lil Yachty also reminded Charlemagne about the time he called him a whack rapper, but Charlemagne claimed his comment was simply taken out of context.
Why do y'all always take that out of context?
That blew me, bro. You know that blew me? You know people bring that up all the time, bro.
You knew what I was saying, though.
Charlemagne said...
And that was wrong. I was saying that that's how people perceive you. I didn't say I felt like that.
Lil Yachty, though, is a pretty chill dude, so it's no surprise he handled things the way he did. Damon Dash, on the other hand, went off on both Charlemagne and DJ Envy on his own Breakfast Club appearance, because record executive Damon Dash was on The Breakfast Club in 2015, and you could say the interview started on a bad note with Dame refusing to answer a question about how he and Jay-Z met, since DJ Envy had asked him that already in a different interview.
This app pays your bills.
Who was from Brooklyn? Because like you guys,
Clark Kent
are tight.
You really still curious about the Jay-Z?
Absolutely.
You don't know the story?
Curious.
Have you never asked this question from me before? About Jay-Z?
I have, but I was on a smaller scale.
If somebody asks you the same question 25 times, maybe 2,500 times, do you still want to talk about the same thing? Yes or no?
No.
So that's just me being human.
No, I understand.
So I don't care what platform we're on. I'm sick of talking about it. Let's talk about something else.
It's a different platform.
I know, but I want to talk about something else.
15 minutes into the interview, Dame also went off on Charlemagne, because while Dame was talking about being his own boss and building his empire with his own money, Charlemagne reminded Dame that he once took a payout from Def Jam Records, and it pissed Dame off.
I'm not going to build somebody else's company and then take shares from my son. All that.
But I'm not.
No, listen. What I'm saying.
What about taking the money?
You come to work every day.
From Def Jam.
I didn't take. Stop. Don't say you're speaking my business and you don't know what you're talking about. I ain't take no money from Def Jam. What you talking about?
They cut you a check.
No, they didn't cut me a check. We had a formula based on performance, and they calculated and we got paid.
After arguing with his hosts, it looked like Dame now had it out for both Charlemagne and DJ Envy, because later in the interview, Dame trolled them both for doing what he called selling gossip as a means of livelihood.
Let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the fact that you sell gossip for a living? Like you sell gossip, you're a man. How do men sell gossip? That's for women.
Maybe don't gossip though.
Y'all talk about what other people say. Every day y'all talking about what you heard. That's gossip. That's all you listen to. That's women do that, man. That's what women do. I don't listen to your show. I don't want to hear about gossip. I be asleep. I'm a boss. I wake up when I want. I don't be up that early.
But Dame Dash's crash out still doesn't compare to the time NBA YoungBoy threatened Charlemagne with a strap. Their beef started on a Breakfast Club segment where Charlemagne called NBA YoungBoy Donkey of the Day, a term Charlemagne uses to call out people who did foolish or controversial things. And the reason Charlemagne thought YB deserved the title was because YoungBoy did an interview with Bootleg Kev where he said he wasn't big on fatherhood, despite having 11 kids.
Donkey today for Wednesday, January 10th goes to the young man known as NBA YoungBoy. Now, NBA YoungBoy recently sat down and had a conversation with the good brother Bootleg Kev. He has 11 kids, but in his words, he's not really big on fatherhood. NBA YoungBoy treating fatherhood the way the NBA's Nikola Jokic treats the NBA. You ever hear Joker talk about basketball at the same level that don't give a F that NBA Jokic has about basketball? NBA YoungBoy seems to have about being a father to his 11 kids.
The fact that Charlemagne was playing with his name pissed YoungBoy off, so he dropped a Charlemagne diss record just 2 days later, titled Act a Donkey, where he dared Charlemagne to come pull up to Gravedigger Mountain, where YoungBoy lives, and threatened to hit Charlemagne with a strap. He also shot back at Charlemagne in a video, where YB called him the Donkey of the Day.
Today's Donkey of the Day is Charlemagne for right.
Charlemagne responded, declining YoungBoy's invitation to Gravedigger Mountain, as you'd expect.
He invited you to Gravedigger Mountain. He said to pull up on him so he could talk face to face. But then he said he'd batch your ish in and then hit you with the Drake. So
let me tell you something.
I wouldn't go if he's, if he invited you that way.
I mean, no. Duh. That's the beauty of being 45 years old and being born in 1978. Number one, I ain't going to no place called Gravedigger Mountain. The hell I'm doing on Gravedigger Mountain if it ain't Halloween?
Now, Charlemagne is known not to be the biggest fan of new generation rappers like YoungBoy, and it seems like he might not have been the biggest King Von fan either, because in this next interview, a lot of people thought Charlemagne was trying to get Von to snitch on himself, and might have succeeded if it weren't for Lil Durk. After his release from jail in 2017, King Von signed with Lil Durk's OTF record label, and a year later, the two were on the Breakfast Club to discuss working together in their relationship as friends.
What made you want to sign King Von?
Cause he got a whole story behind him. You know what I'm saying? He from O Block.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That should speak for itself. But you know what I'm saying? He just real. You know what I'm saying? His music, he just real. I fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? It's my brother.
So he was in jail for 2 murders?
Yeah, 1 murder and 2 attempts. I just beat.
How you beat that?
You gonna beat it if you didn't do it. That's all.
Throughout the interview, Lil Durk seemed to be trying to protect King Von every time Charlemagne threw a potentially incriminating question at him. And at one point, he had to let out what seemed like an intentional cough to get Von to stop talking so he wouldn't self-incriminate himself, since Von already had major run-ins with the law.
See, that's why we need more black-owned businesses right there. Because he can hire people like King Von. You know what I'm saying? Von wouldn't be able to get a job nowhere else, probably.
Damn. That's fucked up.
When you get to that line, have you ever been convicted of?
Have you ever experienced doing nothing?
I mean, it does help when you got rich best friends shit. You can do all the fucking crash outs.
While people barely noticed what went down there, Charlemagne faced so much criticism for this next interview that the video had to be taken down by the Breakfast Club YouTube channel. When Post Malone was still up and coming back in 2015, he came on the Breakfast Club for an interview, but Charlemagne started picking on Posty right off the bat, showing him about his dad's job with the Dallas Cowboys and about being a white boy in hip-hop.
An IQ of 85.
I mean, get his country ass out the paint. That nigga, he done switched the country now.
He's like
He a country ass motherfucker now.
Are you afraid as a white rapper that you may be considered a culture?
He ain't no rapper no more.
I don't think so. I'm not scared. I'm not scared because I'm not trying to be anybody that I'm not.
True indeed.
I'm just trying to, I like what I like. And I don't think I'm biting off of a certain culture or copying a certain culture or trying to be part of a certain culture because, I like what I like.
It looked like Charlemagne just didn't like Post Malone and was
Nah,
picking on him.
Charlemagne right about Post Malone. Post Malone, he's a change,
because Charlemagne next tried to put Posty on the spot by asking him what he was doing to support the Black Lives Matter movement.
What are you doing for the Black Lives Matter movement?
Nothing.
What? I don't know. Is that a serious question?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I guess what I can do to help Black Lives Matter is I just keep making music. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I would have just said nothing. I mean, honestly.
How did you get signed, man? DJ Envy obviously didn't like that Charlemagne had to do Posty like that, and he wasn't the only one, because Charlemagne's actions caused so much outrage that the original interview had to be taken off the official Breakfast Club channel. Posty also went on to speak on it in a Rolling Stone interview years later, saying Charlemagne isn't a good person, and Charlemagne took offense to that, calling Posty out for being the donkey of the day.
Donkey of the day for Monday, November 27th goes to Post Malone. In Rolling Stone, he says he wished he would have said, "What are you doing for Black Lives Matter?" Some sassy stuff to shut him up. Like, maybe my music's not the best, but I know I'm not a bad person, so you're just being a hater. Charlemagne is not a good person. He hates me because I'm white and I'm different, but we're still rocking and we're still successful and he can't stop it. Charlemagne replied, "I don't dislike Post Malone because he's white. I just dislike Post Malone because he's whack." End quote.
These were times rappers checked Charlemagne the God for being disrespectful. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel and check out 14 times where rappers humbled disrespectful fans.
Alright, back. So, like I said, man, don't start no shit. It won't be no shit. Glad for real, nigga. Hey, we're standing on 10. But, like I said, bro, you know, beef gonna be beef. If it's gonna be unseasoned, it's gonna be beef. If it's gonna be well seasoned, it's gonna be beef. Even if that whole beef is burnt, beef, raw beef, it's beef. beef. Nigga, beef. Goofy. Nah, for real though. Like I said, man, anything could have went down in any of these situations, man. You know what I'm saying? Because situations always, like, especially when motherfuckers think they're going to put their hands on you or goofy shit, like, anybody could die. That's real talk, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and you know, you try to protect yourself at all costs, you know what I'm saying? But you can't be no bitch, you know what I'm saying? Because motherfuckers gonna try all the damn time, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you wanna just really just do you, sometimes you just can't care what people say. But like I said, man, stuff can go down 0 to 100 real quick. And it's like, shit, what you gonna do at that time and moment? And at the end of the day, it is what it is. But make sure y'all like, subscribe to this video, man. Fuck with your boy, me out the bitch. Hood, and outside. Big Crip in the game, outside shit. Creep.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. Even though this is an instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.